Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to make a different type of video, not a vlog. I wanted to sit down and talk about New Year's resolutions, goals, intentions, journaling. As if you've been following me for a while, you know I love journaling and I really do prioritize wellness, and I think this has to do with my background in psychology. I am a psychology graduate, so I can't help but want to prioritize and emphasize the importance of keeping in check with yourself and making sure that you're okay and finding ways to make yourself feel better in any way that you can. Plus, I feel like entering the new year always makes someone want to start fresh, or in more TikTok modern language, rebrand. And I think that's a really great thing, because every so often I feel that we need to shed an older version of ourselves in order to grow into a better version. And this could be as simple as changing something physical, maybe your clothes, maybe your hair, maybe how you style yourself, or bigger things such as career moves or taking risks and making bigger decisions to get to a goal. But yeah, so let's get into it. Recently, I have finished my journal. There's like unmatched feeling when you finish your journal, and I really can't describe it. It's this pure bliss of you accomplished something. And I know it sounds so silly. I finished many journals in the past, but the feeling never goes away. So to start off, I want to talk about 2024 reflections. This year, when I went back and looked at the goals that I had put out for myself for 2024, I realized that I didn't reach most of them. And at first I was very like, oh my gosh, why didn't this happen? Like, what did I do wrong? And I got a bit anxious and angry with myself, like, why did I not accomplish these things? But then I realized that me not accomplishing them in this time frame didn't mean that I didn't accomplish them. It means that I just need to take these as opportunities and not losses, and learn from them and reframe how I approach the situation. And with this, I also realized that maybe it would be good to categorize my goals. So instead of having these very basic goals of, I want to achieve this, I want to do that, I want this to happen by the end of this time, I am viewing it as categories: personal development, career, relationships, wellness, and what was it? And finance. So having these main categories and understanding what my goals are for each category, I feel like is going to help me actually know what I'm supposed to do in order to reach those goals. So you can view it as, you have your main category, personal development. What can you do for your personal development? Like, what are your goals for it? And then come up with like minor things that you can do, that you can incorporate into your lifestyle, and make these goals a little bit more digestible, and give yourself these periods of when you're supposed to hit those goals, to give yourself little checkpoints to see throughout the year when you've achieved what. And I feel like that is going to be very beneficial for me. And I want to talk about the intentions for 2025. Like, what is the person, or who is the person that I want to be? What does she look like? What does she do in a day? What are her values? What are her intentions for herself? And I feel like that's also a really great question to ask when imagining and trying to visualize who the next version of yourself is going to be, who this new you is. Someone asked me this question and I really loved it, and it was, describe a day in your life 5 years from now. Where do you want to be? Who is that person? What is she doing? Where is she waking up at? When she wakes up, what does she do? What's her routine? How does she get to work? What is her work? And that was like a really nice imagination exercise on my part. And I've asked other friends of mine after I got this question, and it was really interesting to see how quick people had answers to this question. So maybe if you ask yourself this, you're gonna realize so much more about yourself. And I also want to circle back to, when it comes to these categories and goal setting, I also want to emphasize the importance of understanding what is doable and what is not. Obviously, when making these goals, when writing down these intentions, it's, I think, very important to be realistic with what you are capable of doing and what your circumstances are. Not necessarily saying you should be so realistic to the point where you're not dreaming, but maybe giving yourself realistic frames of time to achieve these goals, these subsets of goals, and honestly giving yourself a little courtesy and kindness of like not pushing yourself too much in order to achieve these goals, but recognizing that some things need to change. How can you slowly and healthily and steadily change these things for your betterment and hopefully reach those goals? By the way, I'm mentioning all these things, I'm saying these things, and I'm still in the process of truly understanding what that means and what that looks like for me, and how to kind of use the power of my, no, I don't want to say like the power of my mind, because I feel like that is a very different topic, but trying to understand that I can achieve these things. Hopefully when I edit this it makes more sense. I feel like I'm hopping from topic to topic and not really making any sense, but essentially if I have to sum up this little journal entry of entering the new year and making these 2025 intentions, it's be honest about what you've achieved, what you haven't, what you experienced in the past year, and be honest with yourself about what are you capable of doing in the future in order to reach the goals that you set for yourself. I think it's important to make these subsets, kind of break down these goals into more digestible little bits. Throughout the year, it's easier to recognize how you're achieving them, what you're doing, and how you're getting there. And also to not be discouraged if you don't reach these goals, because I also believe in, this is going to sound so silly and I feel like I'm really pouring my soul out here, but I do believe in energy, and I do believe that some things happen for a reason, some things don't happen for a reason. So maybe you not reaching a goal, or maybe you not getting what you expected in the way that you expected or hoped, actually is going to benefit you more in the future than you realize in the present. So not to get too discouraged or caught up in the it happened, it didn't happen, or something happened in a certain way, but maybe there's something better on the other side in due time. I've never been this open on camera, and it's honestly a very interesting and raw thing for me to be this open. And I also want to mention very quickly, when it comes to journaling, I get a lot of questions about journal prompts, what I use, what is it, how to do it consistently. And honestly, in my opinion, when it comes to journaling, it's such a personal experience. Just get a notebook that motivates you, a pen that motivates you. I currently am using the Muji. Any notebook that motivates you to write, any notebook that you can carry with you in your bag or in your pocket or whatever you need, and a pen that you like, just to motivate you to write. Because sometimes you need, this is going to also sound silly, but sometimes having a materialistic thing that motivates you to do something beneficial is beneficial. But when it comes to journaling, I always love stream of consciousness journaling, morning pages. If I have time in the morning, I just write down whatever comes to mind. I don't really focus on how much I'm writing. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm getting whatever is on my mind to paper, just to make space up here. And I feel like I've said this in a few videos before, but stream of consciousness is very important to me. When it comes to journal prompts, I love using Pinterest, and I have a few people that I follow on Instagram that also come up with really creative journal prompts. Sometimes I take inspiration from them, but usually it's like along the same lines of asking questions that I feel uncomfortable asking myself. That's why I'm forcing myself to answer them. And also, having the psychology background that I have, I know that some questions kind of flourish into others, and then you actually get to the root of whatever your situation is or whatever is causing you to feel or think a certain way. And sometimes you can have that like Eureka moment of, oh my god, this is this because of this. And that's why I love asking questions. I love asking questions to the people around me, both in like a more deep level and also more surface level questions. But yes, so usually when I'm journaling, I'm either doing stream of consciousness, asking questions to myself, or following journal prompts that I find or take inspiration from. I hope this was an interesting video. Like I said, I've never made such a long form video about this topic, about 2025 intentions, journaling, and being honest with yourself. There was this one TikTok that I watched the other day, and she was talking about how writing down pure thoughts is such a valuable thing, because we take photos, we take videos, and those are like, that's an amazing technology to have, to be able to look back on photos and memories, but it's not the same as rereading a thought. And sometimes I feel like even when journaling, we hold back our truest thoughts, and that's what I'm really trying to break this year while journaling, of being extra honest and extra transparent, because it is interesting to look back and read. And sometimes when we look at old photos or old videos, or we smell an old perfume or some sort of smell, especially when it comes to smell, you are just transported back to that time, that person, that place. And with journaling and writing down your truest thoughts, you are transported back to that time. I think that's such a valuable thing for us as people, as humans. But yes, this was a really long video. I hope that this motivates you to journal a little bit. I hope that this year we have a wonderful rebrand, or whatever you want to call it. But yes, I hope you enjoyed. Be soon.